Hey there. I know what you're thinking. Why isn't he at the desk? Is he not going to do politics? I'm not. Wait, don't leave. This is a special video leading up to the celebration of Calvin Lockhart Day. And as such, we put it in a special format called Shin's Bootleg Underground Book Club. But there are no books. It's more like movies and shows that I like and want to talk about. You know what? Just play the intro.
Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, Calvin Lockhart.
He was a star of the blaxploitation era of film. And while that word sounds bad, it's only like 50% bad. The exploitation of the black bodies on film by major studios was a part of a marketing ploy to make more money off of audiences. I think it's only half bad because, aside from the representation of blacks in roles other than cooks and maids, actors who might have otherwise been relegated to just those roles got a chance to show their range. And then there's the fact that the stories that were told, even though at times they were just black versions of white films and or a white producer's shallow interpretation of black culture, occasionally lent more to the black experience than other Hollywood productions would. Some would argue that we are presently in a new era of blaxploitation because not only is it cool to be black, but it's also very profitable. After all, it took 6 white guys and a raccoon to beat Black Panther's box office sales in America. And now HBO has no more dragons, and it seems like black people are the new Game of Thrones. Back to Calvin Lockhart. He was born Bert Cooper in 1934 in Nassau, Bahamas. Left at the age of 18 to study engineering in New York. That lasted for about a year before he decided he wanted to be an actor. And he would finally get onto Broadway at the age of 26. Then he traveled to Europe acting and directing until he ended up in England, where he had some success in British film and television. Now, this may all just seem like random Wikipedia information, and some of it is, but this man was at one point a part of the Royal Shakespeare Company. By 1970, he got his first lead role in a film, and the greatness would only continue from there. Now, when it came to roles, he was typecasted as the coolest person ever. He could sleep with anyone, talk the slickest talk, and wasn't afraid of white oppressive powers. Except at the end of Let's Do It Again, but that's whatever. He was dangerous and hot, like a flame. In many ways, he was the film opposite of Sidney Poitier. While Sidney was still the black guy that white parents were shocked their daughters brought home to dinner, they still brought Sidney home to dinner. So Sidney was an ideal to be achieved. He was like Superman. And if he was Superman, Calvin was Batman. Often playing roles that were either an anti-hero or plain and simple bad guy. His roles helped to give a fuller picture of the black experience. His crooks weren't one-dimensional thugs. They were fully formed characters with heart that made you understand why people might totally be a henchman for his version of a thug. However, why are we celebrating Calvin Lockhart? The mark he left on the world through film wasn't one that encouraged us to go out and become a slick-talking pastor or a dangerous bookie, but to be the coolest, flyest, most unstoppable brother on this side of eternity. Because even if you are a low-down, dirty criminal, there is nothing stopping you from putting on a fancy hat and turning heads. When is Calvin Lockhart Day? Traditionally, it's celebrated on the 18th of October, unless that date falls on a Sunday like it does in the year 2020. In that case, we celebrate it on the following Monday, October 19th. Well, how do we celebrate? In whatever way you want. Perhaps you can dress like any one of his many characters. You can start your day with a motivational Calvin Lockhart quote.
I hate to say this, but I am such a pretty motherfucker.
You can eat what he would eat, which is weakness. He would chew up weakness and spit it out. You can perform a monologue from one of the many movies he was in. Please, somebody do Biggie Smalls. And of course, you could spend the evening watching one of the many classic films that he was in. Now, if you don't know where to start, I have picked out a few. So I hope you join me on this journey. October 19th, Calvin Lockhart Day.
Why?
You're beautiful, and I'm beautiful. So it's only natural that we would gravitate toward each other.